Hey you, how's it going? My name is Ruubez and welcome to day 22 of Vlogmas. Today I'm doing absolutely naff all. Because I need to. I think I will die if I do something. But, you know, to start off the day, I have an advent calendar to catch up on because I have not been at home. So, the last time I opened this, it was the 17th. It's now 22nd, so. Start with day 18. This is going to be a lot of chocolate. Okay, so 20 was apparently already open. I didn't do it. And then day 22. To be all caught up. Got wrapping paper, scissors, tape, chocolate, and presents. So it's time to get on with it. It's time. I mean, you've got to keep up with traditions, haven't you? First present's done. It's all wrapped. Not quite a rap god. I mean, maybe that constitutes being a rap god? I don't know. But I finished wrapping. Some of those items were really complicated to wrap, and some of them were impossible to make look neat. So if you get the ones that don't look neat, I apologise, but blame it on the presents. I'm all ready for Christmas. Also, in the latest Fresh from the Scene, it was obviously albums of the decade. I've made a Spotify playlist of all of those albums now, so there'll be a link in the description to the playlist if you want to listen to what me and Josh Fielden consider to be the best albums of the decade. Then there's a link in the description, Spotify specifically. I haven't got an Apple Music one sorted yet. But that's not the end of albums of the decade. There are some albums of the decade being mentioned in this week's podcast. Well, I say this week, the week that's coming up. So, yeah. We just watched the first 2 episodes of Witcher, you know, without giving any spoilers. The first episode's a bit alright. It has some good moments. It has a bit of a lull as well. Like, this is my first proper introduction to the Witcher franchise. Like, I'm aware that it exists. I've never quite been able to sort of, you know, bridge the gap to be like, alright, cool, I'm gonna dive into this. But I think that might have just been down to the fact that I was a bit of a Witcher stranger. So, you know, I was figuring it out as things were happening. Second episode is a lot more enjoyable. Yeah, things happen and explanations are given. But it all seems to start off like, you know, form together and show that things have consequences and stuff like that. So, yeah, probably will watch more of it at some point. I'm still yet to actually assemble my Ruubez top 10 of 2019. So, I think I'm going to work on that now. So, we have a list. And on this list, I'm just going to throw out an honourable mention first. The A Week Ago holiday special. I thought that that was a very good vlog. And, you know, perfectly sort of captured the feel of my holiday, like my first holiday in nearly a decade. I am very grateful that I was doing a vlogging series whilst that happened, because, you know, a lot of those experiences were experiences that I was feeling genuinely for the first time in years, and, you know, it's nice to be able to go back and, you know, relive those experiences. But, anyway, let's get started. In ascending order, let's go in ascending order. Yeah, the crowbar cover that I did with Chloe, I thought that was, you know, a really good, really solid cover. Yes, the video's a bit of an aesthetical decision, you know. There's no getting away from that. I was very much testing out different styles and stuff. I made it all grainy and definitely hard to look at. But at the same time, the work I put in to get that cover done, you know, I recorded it within like a couple of days of the song being heard for the first time, and there was no tabs involved. It was all purely just transcribing through ear and then giving vocals thanks to Chloe, you know. I was not expecting that until, you know, she was like, I'll do it. I was like, cool, we have a cover. Moving to number 9 though, Trans Talk 8, Passing. It's not quite had the same reception that Trans Talk 7 had, you know, Dilation, but, you know, Dilation is obviously a less talked about term than passing is, and who's going to listen to a ginger trans woman talking about passing for 8 minutes? Well, apparently 2,000 people, but at the same time, you know, not 50,000. I'm not bitter at all, no. But I did like the passing video. Like, I like the fact that I managed to get back into trans talk because, you know, I was a bit unsure of how I'm supposed to bridge that gap set by Trans Talk 7, and passing was a good way to do it. You know, I talked about not just the importance of passing, but the perceived importance of passing. You know, it's not just about looking like the opposite gender. It's like, why do we need to look like the gender? Who's telling us we need to do this? Why do we need to be doing this? That video could be longer, and maybe that's something to think about for the future, but I'm proud of that video, and I'm proud of the fact that, you know, I didn't just go, so, you know, passing privilege, you know, people have that sometimes. End video. Moving on to number 8, my End of Suffering review. The first Ruubez reviews where I'd actually had the album before the album came out, and honestly that made me feel like such a journalist. Yeah, I basically woke up, I had an email from a press company and they're like, we've got these albums, does anyone want to do a review? And I was like, yes, send me that album. Lo and behold, I managed to film a review for an album I'd been massively anticipating for over a year, and I got to hear it before people had heard it. I can't complain about that. You know, I was put into a very privileged position to hear End of Suffering before other people did, and some of my comments might be a little bit out of date by now, or now that I have a completely different understanding of certain songs and their origin, you know, like certain comments that I said would probably be changed, but at the same time, that video was a very solid piece of music journalism and I wouldn't change it. And number 7, we have mine and Abby's reverse Q&A. I'd got into a bit of a rut of only making videos that felt like they had a purpose, and I wanted to expand what I was doing. I was obviously doing my weekly vlogs at the time, but, you know, whenever I was making a video, it was either trans related or it, you know, had a specific point to it. I just wanted to make fun videos again, and this video gave me the opportunity to test the waters with that, and, you know, lo and behold, people enjoyed it because it was just two people having fun and, you know, playing a little silly game with each other. And yeah, it's led on to other videos that actually do make it into this list, so thanks for that one, Abby. Thanks for being my guinea pig. Number 6, am I a trans activist? Literally just bouncing off the back of the previous video, I was going through a period of, you know, thinking what I'm doing for the trans community, and on the high horse entirely, you know, what I do has an impact because there are people watching these videos, you guys, who, you know, watch me for what I tell people, and a lot of that stuff does tend to be trans experiences and trans terminology and stuff, and I help people, and I've had people come up to me and be like, yeah, your videos are amazing, thank you so much, I'd never have known about this. And that's honestly, I don't think I can come up with a better feeling than that. I can't, because that's why I've done a lot of the things that I've done, to educate and to entertain, and most importantly, just make trans people feel appreciated by other trans people, I guess. Do I sound like a sanctimonious prick? I sound like a sanctimonious prick. Let's move into the top 5. Mahatma Raindrop, the first proper Ruubez media video. After going for a job interview at a company which I won't mention to be a junior video producer, I was told that I didn't have enough experience making videos and content for third parties. So what do? I create my own business and I enlist third parties myself so that I can get that experience. And, you know, this was the first video that I did. It's also pretty special in the sense that the first like gig video I made was Mahatma Raindrop in Vlogmas 2017. I provided the opportunity, but I was also given the opportunity to create something special at what was currently the last Mahatma Raindrop gig. It was journalism, it was gig footage, and it was just something that I really enjoyed making and really enjoyed putting it out there, and it's led on to bigger things that are coming in the future. Number 4, addressing my YouTube comment section. I had no idea when I was planning this video it was going to get picked up by 1080. You know, the YouTube magazine. I was in a YouTube magazine. Oh, I mean, I was online, but this is a YouTube magazine. Yeah, for so many years I'd noticed a trend in the types of, you know, YouTube comments I was getting, and the only way I could think to do something about that was to address it and how do I speak to people? I make videos, you know. I think the way that I made that video could have gone really badly, you know, if I'd misphrased something, or, you know, if I'd said something in a way that just alienated my entire audience. But I didn't. I did it well. You know, I rewatched it whilst trying to make this list, and I still stand by everything I say in that video. You know, if you're watching me purely because I'm trans, you know, fuck off. If you care about the content I'm making, then yeah, thank you. I fucking love you. You know, and if you're a TERF, just go rot in hell, because that's where you'll be for the rest of eternity. You might as well just go there right now. Trans activist, innit? So, top 3. A very recent video, baking vegan cookies with Beth. This video probably wouldn't have been possible without the reverse Q&A that I did with Abby, because that was very much a stepping stone in, you know, making fun content. That video is long, that video has its flaws, you know, there's an entire section where it's just out of focus, and that pisses me off. But at the same time, content isn't always perfect. Content is content. I had a lot of fun filming that video. I had a lot of fun making that video. The fact people are liking it as much as they are for a video that's that long and, you know, isn't exactly getting a lot of traction anyway, like, that just means so much to me, because, you know, it's content that I want to make. I want to make things that are funny as well as just, you know, important to trans people. So for those of you asking for more stuff like that, I would like to make more stuff like that, and there will probably be more stuff like that in the future. So number 2, a week ago, I attended my first Leeds Fest. Again, with, you know, what I was saying about a week ago in my honourable mention of the holiday special, Leeds Fest was something that I'd been building up to for a long time. I'm a music fan, I'm a music journalist, and Leeds Fest is a festival that's right on my doorstep and I'd never been to. And thanks to a week ago, I get to relive that festival over and over again. I can watch Enter Shikari's set, I can watch Pain Pending, I can watch a tiny bit of 1975, I can watch Foo Fighters, I can watch 21 Pilots, I can watch, you know, the friends that I made around me at that festival enjoying themselves, you know. I can watch an entire field of thousands of people singing along to Don't Look Back in Anger. It's exactly why I got into weekly vlogging, and it's exactly why this video is at number 2 on this list. It's probably my favourite a week ago. And number 1 on this list, the many sexual identities of Ruby Price. A video that I felt needed to be made, but at the same time didn't need to be made. There's a lot of history to me. Really? I'm 24, of course there's a lot of fucking history. Great statement, Ruubez. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of history to, you know, how I came to be the me I am right now, just in terms of gender identity and sexuality. I think that the way that I handled that in this video was probably the best way I could have handled it. I handled it lightheartedly, and I, you know, made fun of myself. I did some really cool edits, I think. There were a couple of bad edits, but, you know, some of those were the first times I was trying that sort of stuff. So that's just natural, really. I enjoyed making that video. I enjoyed the response that video got. And LGBTQ plus bingo is one of the funniest things I've ever said. But yeah, those were the top 10 videos that I made in 2019. Yesterday's comment question was, what was your favourite? Today's comment question is also, what was your favourite? Did any of the entries on this list surprise you? You know, that's what I want to know. Hopefully we're on the same page, but at the same time, you know, you might have thought of something that I hadn't thought of. There's a link to the playlist in the description, and, you know, have fun. It's long, because there's a couple of very long videos in that. Those were the best videos that I think I made this year. But whilst I'm at it, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, etc, etc. As always, I have been Ruby Price, and I see you tomorrow at day 23 of Vlogmas. 23. Adios. Bye.